Shoots a shot, scores! And what a save! Adenazio says no! His shot scores! C'est-le-but, Mr. Mandu! Sooner matching the Tulsas! Another chance saved by BCB!
Incredible job by the Sooners. So much chaos in front of the net there.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Arctic Edge Ice Arena, the site of this home opener of a best-of-3 series between your Oklahoma Sooners and the McKendree Bearcats. I'm Christian Markey, alongside me, Willie Baird, who joins us for another wonderful broadcast on this amazing Thursday night, a stormy Thursday night. The Sooners, last stretch of games have been fantastic, going 6-0. 4 of those being on the road, 2 of them being at home. They've looked great. Willie, what are your thoughts on that?
A lot of big wins on the road. Very surprising from the Sooners. Not always the best road team, but getting those big wins in Colorado State and then at Iowa State, and now coming home and having this 3-game weekend against McKendree.
Unfortunately, they picked up injuries along that stretch as well, but have remained resilient throughout that entire process between departures of players who aren't injured and the departing of players who are injured. And so as a team bonding as a group, what does that mean to be able to pick up those wins on the road in situations like that where you might not necessarily expect to win, but you still find a way?
It really brings up the team morale. Team morale, one of the most important things, having the guys actually like each other. If you're on a losing team, not everybody's going to be getting along, blame game, blaming the goalies, blaming defense, blaming forwards. But getting these wins as a group that is injured and having these difficulties is really a show of perseverance.
It's a young group, and that you don't necessarily see that in this league in general. Between any league, NHL, college, doesn't matter. To have a core of young forwards leading the scoring for the Sooners, Tristan Davison being the Lone Ranger up there, who's now in his third season with Oklahoma, is up there as well. But having these young guys come in, fill into a system ran by Coach Arvanitis, how difficult is that coming out of, juniors right into this program?
I think there's been a lot of good bonding and a lot of veteran leadership in the upper half with Aaron Best. Even though he is injured, he is still around the guys, making sure that everyone's doing well. And then Tristan Glass and Blake Swearingen, of course, helping, who is also injured right now, and just making sure that everybody is feeling welcomed and wanting to be here.
Well, we'll be right back with you guys for Puck Drop in just a couple of minutes. But real quick, we would like to welcome OU Hockey's newest corporate sponsor, Appliance for Less. Family-owned and veteran-owned for all your appliance needs. Go by 2 of their 5 locations in Northwest OKC and Norman. 8105 Northwest Expressway Street, OKC 73162, and 1302 North Interstate Drive, Norman, Oklahoma 73072. Free delivery and 10% off store-wide this weekend only for all hockey fans. Welcome back, Sooner Nation. As we get ready for puck drop, it's going to be Brendan Forden in net for the Sooners, and on the other end, Mason Hasselhorst for McKendree. Brendan Forden been one of the best goalies. The Payne-Forden tandem really this season has just been phenomenal. And we saw flashes of it when BCB wouldn't play last year. That just speaks volumes to how good, the recruiting has been. Coach being able to find these guys and plug them in and them just crushing it.
Yeah, the goaltending's really picked up after the departure of Gage Redmond. BCB and Trey, love Trey. But Trey wasn't always focused on hockey. But the Ford and Payne duo is a very good duo to have around.
Joe McCormick to take this opening face-off against Carson Spear. It's a rookie-heavy lineup with some injuries. McKendree takes it. And we are underway here in Arctic Edge. Forden plays it behind. Motts has it now. Swings it over Charlie Blake, the leading scorer for the Sooners. Sends it into the neutral zone before it's sent back in by McKendree. Reichel Davis meets Charlie Blake, gives him a friendly shove before it's taken away. Carson Spear on a breakaway. Shot saved by Hasselhorst. Good early chance there for the Sooners.
Yeah, the defenseman really sticking it in the middle there, did a great job of controlling his angles.
Puck exited, nearly took off the head of our friendly photographer, Michael Signoli. He had a beat on that. You could
Yeah, that was close.
That was very close, but he's one of the best in the business. As McCormick and Davison take this face-off. New line out here for the Sooners with Garen Narvaez, Brendan Wolf, who risks a shot, looking for a tip. Skylar Baucom going up high for that one. Hasselhorst with the save. He's faced three early ones.
Yeah, a great save by Hasselhorst off the tip there. I don't know. That looked a little over to the bar to me.
Yeah. I think there would have been room for discussion if that had gone in.
Yeah, and McKendree was already yelling just in case.
Davison will do it again on the faceoff, wins it. Narvaez plays it back to Wolf. Slap shot from Kagan, Caught a piece of something. Kagan again, wrists it, took a deflection from Davison out in front. Kept in by Oklahoma for a moment, eventually taken away by Trevor Voida. Brought out of the zone, chased after, and eventually back into Bearcat possession. Sooners chase it all the way down to their own end. Kagan collects it, plays it off for Narvaez. Puck flipped forward by Brendan Wolf, but not cleared. Shot from a distance was blocked by Kagan. Now a centering feed taken away easily with Davison. Now Baucom has plenty of space. Good stretch pass from Davison. Finds Baucom right on the tape. Centering feed saved. Now another chance for Davison, goes wide of the net. Hasselhorst might have caught a piece of it. Gutierrez.
Great offensive rush off the turnover in the D zone, getting through the neutral zone very quickly.
Davison read that seam, found Baucom. Took an awkward deflection off the stick of Baucom and whistled wide. New line on for the Sooners. Monticelli, Glass, and Caden Martin step out. McKendree comes away with it. Monticelli loses it. McKendree still possessing. Forden plays it in behind his own net to Brendan Wolf. Slaps it over to Motts. Motts over to Martin, looking for a clearance. They do get it. And away goes Nate Monticelli, one-on-one with a Bearcat. Monticelli trying to do a little toe drag. Now Glass in on goal, and a good stick from Hasselhorst to negate that opportunity for the Sooners once again.
Yeah,
now
Glass,
Martin has it at the blue line. Sorry, go ahead, Willie.
Glass able to pick that puck up after Nate Monticelli had it poked away from him. Good job supporting his teammate.
Kendry enters with speed. Will Blake out there for the Sooners to meet a Bearcat. Gets it over to Carson Glass, flips off his stick. Will Blake with it, has options, surveys Payne on the left, elects to hold it himself. Kept in the zone for a moment. Still kept in by Will Blake. Awkward hop off of his own skates, and eventually it's taken away by McKendree.
Yeah, we'll see what this new look fourth line does for the Sooners. Nate Payne and Will Blake obviously been on the team for a couple of years, and the rotation of Kay Glass as well as Joy into that line.
Yeah, with these injuries, the Sooners are looking for those guys that don't normally see minutes to step up into spots and fill holes. Kagan back out there, has Micah Mala. Deflected it in, so no icing. It's going to fall on a Hasselhorst who just swallows it.
Yeah, I don't know. The ice might be a little soft right now. I see a lot of bounces going every which way. The puck might also not be cold yet. I didn't hear you in my ear. Okay.
Matthias Alexander to take the face-off. Won by the Sooners. Motts fired a shot. Mamala looking for the deflection, couldn't get it. Back at the point, Logan Motts down low. Charlie Blake fighting hard, taken in behind Hasselhorst. Good keep by Gutierrez, looking for a tip from Charlie Blake. Just missed his stick, and the other way goes the Bearcats. Joe McCormick has it to Alexander. Alexander surveys circles, drop pass taken away by Carson Spear. The other way goes Oklahoma. Spear. Good moves there. Taken away. Michael Muller rips a shot over the net, and good heads-up glove from Hasselhorst right off the glass. It's not one you expect, but he was ready for it almost.
Yeah, Hasselhorst is very aware for these first 6 shots. I would say he is really keeping the Sooners off the board right now.
Alexander to do it again against Spear. Sooners dominated their last home series on faceoffs against the Buffs.
In a very strong start already, I believe. I don't even know if they've lost one other than the one that they just lost right now. Announcer's curse.
Possibly. Bearcats enter cleanly. Awkward deflection off of Amala's stick. Eventually it's taken and cleared by the Sooners. Potential 2-on-1 loading here for Oklahoma. Reinforcements arrive. Shot fought off. Wide. Wolf has it. Tight angle blocked. Summer for McKendree takes it away. Neutral zone. Sooners dominating that area right now. Big stretch pass, looking for a body, couldn't find it. Jack Summer there to intercept it for McKendree. Loses his glove in the process of that. Ben Anderson back to Summer. High puck. It's going to probably catch a piece of something. It didn't somehow.
That went right over the light.
Touched the sky there for a moment. Tristan Davison the other way for Oklahoma. Garen Narvaez pestering, turned it over. Sawyer Lonsdale has it for McKendree. Had it, rather. Taken, cleared. We're going to get no icing as it's on center mass of Hasselhorst. And waiting for a whistle. I don't know what the deliberation was for, but we get a stoppage in play. 14:07, Sooners dominating the shot department, 7-0 right now.
Yeah, a strong start from the Sooners, really getting the puck off the faceoffs up to the defenseman and moving side to side to get those shots through. And Hasselhorst playing very well to start this game.
Garen Narvaez tried to wrist one, it was wide. Davison first one to it now. Field clearance attempt for McKendree. They've had a couple of these early on, and the Sooners looking to capitalize.
I'm really liking the look of this second line for the Sooners. A lot of speed, a lot of small, shifty players getting those pucks into the corners and really winning those battles in puck races.
Trevor Voida electing his options. Eventually gets it to the man we will just call Tish because I have no idea how to pronounce that name. It is one for the ages.
Yeah, don't look at me.
Oliver Kell flips it forward. Can't find a man. Motts has it, surveys, deliberates. Brings it to Monticelli. Trying to get a touch pass going to Tristan Glass. Sooners kind of taking their time getting set up here. Clear down. They're going to say no icing on that. And taken away by McKendree. Rasansky got it forward. Cleared by Oklahoma. McKendree still has not gotten a shot off in this game so far on net.
I'm really liking the stretch pass from the McKendree, though. They weren't really able to get it on those first couple of shifts, but these last 2 or 3 shifts, when they were coming up the far side, they're really finding the guy on the far wall.
Oliver Keel has it in behind Hasselhorst. Plays it forward. Sooners have it now. Back to Keel. Glove down and taken away by Jacob Beach, their leading scorer. Bigich, excuse me. Enters, fires it wide off behind the net. Kept in for a moment, tipped down low by Begic, and out of play.
I still don't think that will count as a shot. I don't think it went off of Forden.
No, Forden has not had to stop anything in his crease just yet.
We'll see if the Sooners can continue this dominance in the faceoff dot in the D zone too, though.
It's something they really did well. I mean, that whole Colorado series, they just dominated every department of everything that you could write for the statistics of hockey. And they did the same thing against CSU on the road as well. Summer has it. Joy trying to get it on his backhand. Couldn't. Lost it on the faceoff dot. Jack Sumner, takes it away. Joy late on his entry. Was deflected, so no icing.
Will Blake taking on a 3-on-1 down low.
Michael Mullis stands up into a man, no arm. Oh, we are going to get a penalty. So there's going to be a boarding loading for Mike Amala. See about that one. Mateo Salvatore was the victim of that hit. Puck touched by Charlie Blake, and a McKendree power play is loading.
Yeah, I didn't like that hit from Mike Amala there. I think he was definitely seeing the numbers on that one.
So Amala takes a seat. We'll see. Sooners, I believe, are sitting at 86% on the penalty kill, which is fantastic early on in this season. That's something you like to see out of your special teams. McKendree power play has some work to do this season.
Yeah, the Sooners really have been dominating on the PK sometimes, getting some of their own offensive opportunities.
Good early clearance from Oklahoma. And offsides. We're going to stop at your play. Sooner fans, I never thought I'd say this, but we are currently monitoring a rotating storm headed up towards Arctic Edge. So we'll have to keep an eye out on that. Obviously, play will be suspended for any tornado warning that is issued in the area. That would be a first, as October bodes severe weather across the Great Plains. McKendree looking to get going on the power play. Can't. Good clearance by Logan Motz. Didn't allow an entry whatsoever. Bearcats go in. Joe McCormick into the boards. Taken away. Held in at the line, though. Good job there by Keel. Keel gets it over to Alexander. Worked down low.
Turnover.
And turned away and cleared easily. Still no shots on goal, even with this power play almost halfway over. Sooner defense stepping up and doing it all.
Yeah, like I said, they're establishing themselves in the PK, running, it looks like a diamond against McKendree. I know that Pete loves to change it up, doing the box or the diamond, depending on what kind of power play the other team's playing.
Oh, what a goal! Oh, my goodness. Joe McCormick took it the distance for McKendree. And they go up 1-0. What a shot from Joe McCormick.
Yeah, Joe McCormick, right? Yeah, just able to walk the defenseman there, got it through, pushed through with speed, and then elevated over the shoulder of Forden.
His third goal this season. as the Sooners look to respond. Davidson centering feed to Narvaez, no goose. Sooners looking to have to get set back up again. Working down low. Eventually it's cleared, high flip, chased after, no icing. Forden shovels it down, came out and was in a vulnerable spot there, but the Sooner D doing a good job of making a heads-up play on that. Now Logan Motts looking to enter, fires it right on Hasselhorst, and a save.
You know, I like that play from Motts there because you're obviously winning in the face-off dot a lot. So forcing the coverage, getting a new line out there, and hopefully getting this goal back for the Sooners.
Yeah, they have not gone down early a lot this year so far. It's something that they were more accustomed to last year, but has not been the case this year. They've usually started out pretty strong. Second periods have been the ones where they have struggled the most. So we'll see what type of game this makes them play. Joe McCormick goal, it didn't look like anybody was expecting him to make that type of move and then walk it the distance in, but
coming with that much speed as well.
Cole Stuckey in for the Sooners. Shot from a distance on Hasselhorst, saw it.
Hasselhorst really just able to lock down these angles right now. I think the Sooners need to start getting them side to side, maybe some shots off the pads, getting some rebounds in there, but just not winning the puck battles to the puck after the shots on net.
That's Charlie Blake getting booted out of the face-off draw. Carson Spear will step in there. It's Stuckey's second game of this young season so far, so he's looking to fill a role. It's a shot from a tight angle from Blake. Blocker saved by Hasselhorst. Good hit there by Charlie Blake on Keel, and another one. Sooners looking to keep it in. They do. Fire down. They'll go off for a change, or at least Stuckey will. Spear on the turnover for a moment. Had it, lost it. Now Kagan possesses in the neutral zone, looking for a stretch pass that was tipped and out of play.
Yeah, good first shift for Stuckey there. He obviously hasn't had a lot of ice time yet, and you know, Huberty on the back end working the defense is going to need a lot of that out of him. Mistake-free hockey.
Tristan Glass, center ice face-off, won by McKendree. Ben Anderson swings it up. Deflected in on Forden. He will just cover it. Charging Bennett Uchaz, causing some disruption.
Yeah, we'll see if the ref has a talking to with him, but it looks like Motts is the only one that will be getting the talking to for that last play.
Shot, no problem there for Forden. As Ramsupe puts that on net for McKendree. Shot from distance. Forden might have gotten a tip off of it from his blocker. Poor clearance from Monticelli. Bearcats fire it back down. Monticelli trying to do it again, does. Gets it out. McKendree has to touch up. Scrum ensues right along the Sooner bench before it's fired back in. Motts collects, turns back. Ivan Gutierrez for Oklahoma looking to break out, misses the stick of Monticelli down the distance, and icing against Oklahoma.
Yeah, I would say if I were the coach here, if Motts should have just taken a couple more steps, maybe looked off to the left and then looked for Monticelli on the right side. Not really able to really get him that puck in a nice and easy pass, trying to get the sauce over the stick.
Offensive zone face-off. Alexander has it, plays it back to the point. Good block. Alexander again plays it down low. Puck taken back up to the blue line. Shot. Good skate block from Logan Motts. McKendree still firing on all cylinders here on this offensive attack, creating lots of pressure. Monticelli, good check to get his man off the puck. Eventually cleared down Caden Martin flings it, and the Sooners get a change.
Yeah, McKendree looks to have gotten rid of a little bit of the bus legs. They're starting to pick up the pace.
Trevor Voida taking his sweet time. Play has seemed to come to a halt here.
That's always when I'd have a conversation with their goalie.
Ask him what he had for dinner.
Yeah, I was seeing what hotel they were staying at, seeing if they gave him a good place or not.
Shot from the point. Forden saw it all the way. It was a bouncing puck. Kagan cleaning up the traffic up in front of the net.
Yeah, McKendree really finding their shifts here in the since the power play goal. I mean, they really didn't have anything on the power play moving until the goal, but these last couple of shifts, they've been establishing themselves along the walls and keeping the puck down low in the corners and working it out top to their defensemen.
Yeah, this is an offensive game we have not seen until about 10 minutes. That first goal really swung momentum in their favor, and we're gonna get
which was surprising to me because the Sooners had so much momentum, and then we get the bad penalty from Amala, and then they're able to shimmy their way in and get one on the board, and now it's been all Bearcats.
Sooners still have 6:42 left in the first to come up with an answer. Bearcats take it out. Connor McDonald was there. Puck dumped in, no icing. McDonald in pursuit in the corner. Kept in by Charlie Blake. They're going to say no offsides.
Will Blake on that one.
Will Blake, excuse me.
Yeah, it's that the fourth line that Pete has been rotating in, Joy with Will Blake and Nate Payne. Still looking to find a bit more momentum, and now we're having a conversation down low.
Surprised they're letting him talk to him this long and not just continuing play. Both centermen looking for this game to resume.
He was just asking for something to be cleared up. I couldn't tell what it was, but I don't know. Now we're having a conversation between the refs.
Garen Narvaez and Alex Kent still waiting. And now referee's going to go ahead and talk to Coach Arvanitis on the Oklahoma bench. Not really sure what's going on. We'll step aside for a second. Nope, never mind. We are ready to continue. Puck dumped in. Oliver Keel on it for the Bearcats. Six-man scrum along the end boards. Eventually, no, it's kept in. Logan Motts, good job there on a bouncing puck. He gets stood up into by McDonald, but maintains possession, dumps it down low. Cole Stuckey has the puck shot from a tight angle, fought off easily. Puck clacked off the skate of Skylar Bauckham. Sooners will get a change. Narvaez, the lone man in on the forecheck for Oklahoma. McKendree dumps it in. Jonathan Davenport has it in the corner. Sumner dumps it down low, looking for Davenport. Has it in behind Forden. Pressured hard by Amala. Shot from a tight angle. Deep angle, rather. Good save there from Brendan Forden.
Yeah, Brendan Forden swallowing up the rebounds as we expect from him. Always somebody that's very good at rebound control.
It's almost like a really good defensive adjustment was made on the McKendree side of things because OU's offensive identity seems to be lost in the midst of everything that it started out to be.
Yeah, they haven't found themselves winning the neutral zone, which is something that we've seen from the Sooners a lot as of the last couple games.
Spear has it. Going to enter for Oklahoma. Dumps it down. Mike Amala chases after it. Pins a man to the boards.
Two on three right now for the Sooners.
Eventually things get going once more. Bearcats come away with it. Sumner trying to clear it for McKendree. Eventually, still not clear actually, but puck fired all the way down. We are going to get an icing. It might have caught a piece of something in the neutral zone, but
I thought I heard something too. Well, we're not on the ice. We can't change the call.
Yep.
But I gotta say, yeah, the Bearcats' adjustment on defense is really stunned this Oklahoma Sooner offense.
I think it's their zone entries. The Oklahoma zone entries have not been as clean as Skylar Lonsdale wins that face-off. Bearcats come away with it. Davenport gets around Stuckey, loses the puck, and away goes Oklahoma. Monticelli gets it forward. Nate Monticelli, shot! Oh, and a great glove save by Hasselhorst. Takes a body with him as well. Nate Monticelli starting to get things going this season. Had a great goal against Colorado State last weekend. Caden Martin back to Monticelli. Mott's trying to hold the line, can't. And away goes McKendree. Salvatore, tight angle, fought off, blockered by Forden. Quick turnaround here as Uchez turns it over. Now Caden Martin, not the fastest guy. Wrist one high and over the net. Mott's been out there for a while right now. Spear.
He was calling for that pass in the middle, and he got it. That was a little bit of a suicide pass.
Spear has it now, centering for Charlie Blake, who just misses it. Still kept in, thankfully, for Oklahoma. He got lucky with that one. That had odd man rush written all over it. Spear now turns it over, and we will not get an odd man rush, but a penalty called against Oklahoma. Interference to be the call, a hold against the Sooners. So another power play for McKendree, who's 1 for 1.
Yeah, Spear was falling on that one, and he held on, trying to not allow the odd man rush to go in, and the back referee got him on that one. Well, let's see if the Sooners can have the first half of the PK that they had and not the second half.
Well, they looked so good on that first half. No shots, and all of a sudden one rush is all it takes. And the Bearcats capitalized.
And it's really flipped the momentum of this game.
Shot fought off by Forden. Begich in. Mott's been on the ice for a while. Never got a change on that, and then had to go right back out there as that one's fought off by Forden and pushed wide.
Yeah, Mott's definitely one of the number one options with all the injuries happening right now on the defensive side of the puck.
Joe McCormick, the only goal scorer so far to take this face-off against Nate Payne.
Yeah, Nate Payne and Will Blake out there for the PK.
Payne wins it, but it's taken away by McKendree. Good clearance by Will Blake. Gets it down, kills off precious Bearcat power play time. Shots have now swung in favor of McKendree, 9-11.
So we started with a 7-0 start for the Sooners, and now I would say 2 shots to 11 at this point.
Yeah, they've gotten 11 shots in less than 8 minutes of game time. Sooners, on the other hand, only 2. Quick mental math there as Ivan Gutierrez can't seem to find a clearance. Reichel Davis plays it back to Keel. Keel cross to Alexander, and a save by Forden.
Another rebound, possible rebound opportunity that was swallowed up by Forden.
One of the best in the business at that, him and Payne. That's what makes them so successful. Got 56 seconds left.
And just 2 minutes left in this first period. Really got to see if the Sooners can turn this second half of the period around.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here. Still some time to kill on this power play. Begich plays it back to Lonsdale, who gets ran into from Tristan Glass. Begich works it down low, has it again on the faceoff dot, back to Lonsdale. Shot blocked by Tristan Glass. If he puts on the burners, he can get to it, but Lonsdale quick to chase it. Carson Glass will just dump it down and kill some time. There's 20 seconds left. Begic. Alex Kent chasing after it for McKendree. Payne meets him along the end boards. Good job there by Alex Kagan, chopping at it, hacking at it, giving a whack to Kent. Alexander at the point, play down low. Sooners go 1 for 2 on the penalty kill. Lonsdale surveys. Drop pass for Kent. Kent back to Begic. Shot from distance. Never made it there. Just under a minute to go here in the first period. Puck eventually, finally comes out for Oklahoma.
Much needed change.
Alexander dumps it in. He'll turn to go off himself. Good hit there by Griffin Joy, making his presence known. Now Joy has it with Alexander. Griffin Joy loses it. Just 20 seconds left now. McKendree looking to break out in the dying embers of this first period, trying to add on to that 1-0 lead. Couple of seconds left, and that will do it for this first period. So the Sooners were looking hot to start, and then all it took was one penalty kill, and they lost their way. We'll be right back with your first period intermission report, but first we would like to welcome OU Hockey's newest corporate sponsor, Appliance for Less, family and veteran owned. For all your appliance needs, go by 2 of their 5 locations, Northwest OKC and Norman, 8105 Northwest Expressway Street, OKC 73162, and 1302 North Interstate Drive, Norman, Oklahoma 73072. Free delivery and 10% off store-wide this weekend for all hockey fans. Welcome back, Sooner hockey fans. McKendree taking that 1-0 lead on the power play in the first period, and the Sooners facing a rare 1-0 deficit going into the middle frame. It's been their most daunting frame so far this season, at least on home ice. A little different on the road, but they'll have to answer.
Yeah, going to have to find an answer against McKendree. They were really building up a lot of momentum at the end of that first period, so we'll see if the Sooners can flip it around, starting with the Martin T. Glass and Monticelli line. So
Glass gets shoved off of that face-off and continues. Oklahoma unable to get his own entry in. Gutierrez and McKendree Bearcat both took a spill away from each other, so this was just ice slippage. It is fresh, it is clean and wet. McKendree having to exit. Dumped in, chased after. I'm going to say no icing. Gutierrez in there for Oklahoma, working hard into the boards. Reichel Davis in there for the Bearcats. Eventually comes free for Logan Motts. Motts banks it off the glass.
bad bounce off that glass.
Swept in by Monticelli and cleared by the Bearcats. Reichel Davis has it with some space. Brendan Wolf pestering hard, no penalty there. Just a gentle forearmed.
Little forearm shiver.
Never hurt nobody. Davis again. Motts collecting, looking for a long Hail Mary to Caden Martin. Couldn't find it. Expresses his frustration. A couple of turnovers again on entries for Oklahoma has allowed the Bearcats to enter on this rush. Puck dribbled wide. Brady Nance, drop pass down low. Forden didn't know where it was.
Huh. Swallows up another rebound, though.
Lonsdale with that attack.
But again, the Sooners not really able to get through the neutral zone. It's really been the bane of their existence the last 10 minutes of the first period and now these first 2 minutes of the second period.
And, you know, I'm thinking missing key guys like Ryan Carr, even though he's a defenseman, so good and strong with the puck on these entries with his hands, and then as well as Aaron Best, who will be out long term. Definitely missed on the Sooners roster for these said zone entries that they're struggling with. So perhaps these things are starting to catch up with them as Amala makes a nice pass over to Charlie Blake. Charlie Blake rips a shot. It was a corpulent rebound for Carson Spear, but he wasn't able to locate it. Now Brady Nance enters. On his backhand, forced a shot on a Forden looking for a rebound. No such luck. Sooners go the other way. Mike Amala, great pass over to Carson Spear. Ended up bouncing off of his stick, but he still retains possession. Hit into the boards by Davenport. We're going to get an OU power play on that. It was a gentle collision in my eyes, but definitely one where you hit him in the back of the numbers. He was square to the board. Spear is taking a second to get back up. He's okay. But
yeah, that looks like he overextended his back a little bit. You know what I mean? He got the little bit of the whiplash, and I think Spear is really feeling it.
Yeah,
Sooners go have a chit chat with Anita.
Sooners cannot afford another injury. Tristan Glass to lead this face-off. Check that. Tristan Davison steps in now.
And also the Sooners have been less dominant in the face-off dot. Really established themselves with a high winning percentage in this 6-game win streak, or 6 games, right? And now this game, they've really started off well and haven't done anything after it.
Mike Amala has it now at the point. Charlie Blake, work down low. Davison slapping at it, comes back to the point. Will Blake slaps one on that tip, scores! Tristan Glass knots things up on the power play for Oklahoma.
Tristan Glass getting in that soft area right in between the two defensemen and getting that tip in between his legs and going in between the legs of McKendree's goalie.
They worked Davison as the bumper down low who played it back to Will Blake, and That was just beautifully set up. Nobody marked glass, and the marker that was there did not do his job whatsoever.
Yeah, and Will Blake running the power play. We haven't seen that all year. And so this is a new look power play for the Sooners. Now Will Blake right back out to take this face-off.
Motts has it. Dumped down, chased after, and into the Sooner bench. Jack Sumner deposited it there. But a much-needed response and answer.
Yeah, let's see if this flips the momentum like McKendree had it with the big momentum shift.
Shots now back in favor of Oklahoma, 13-10. Nate Payne out there against Kent. Kent wins the faceoff for McKendree. Will Blake chopping at it. Centering feed. Good clearance there. For a moment now, Payne. Awkward shot. Carson Glass tied up. And Kent steps into Will Blake now. Eventually scored free. Jack Sumner trying to clear it for McKendree. Can't. Pot at by Glass. Eventually it is taken away by McKendree. Kent looking for options. Good defensive play there from Ivan Gutierrez. Eventually Glass comes away with it of the Carson variety. Fought at in the neutral zone. Taken away. Good stick lift by Gutierrez. He rips a shot. Bouncing high. Pot in. Out in front of Hasselhorst. Fought out. Dangerous play is a lackadaisical clearance from Kagan. Allows for a zone entry by the Bearcats.
Yeah, Kagan not really able to put any mustard on that. And I don't know, maybe taking it back behind the net, letting his teammates come back onto the ice after a 4-person change.
Caden Martin in wrist one, high and wide. Not a bad shot from that angle. As Monticelli gets ran into by a Bearcat. Glass hammered along the end wall. Tied up into that corner. Eventually it's taken away by McKendree. Puck worked low. Kagan pestering hard. Reichel Davis pushing it forward. Alexandrov's tight angle shot. Fought off by Forden. Davis has it. Monticelli pestering. Kagan behind the net. Trying to get it free. Eventually does. Martin. Good move there to get it free. Sooners on the tail end of their shifts. Garen Narvaez from far and wide. Couldn't get it on net. Motts intercepts in the neutral zone. Sooners touch up. Clean line out there. Fresh legs.
Sooners a little lucky that shot didn't go a little harder because McKendree had an odd man rush coming up the ice.
Questionable non-icing call there, but we will live. Davison takes it, crosses, enters, surveys. Completes a near full cycle there before he's taken down by McDonald. Now Bachum in front of the net. And Hasselhorst fought off the angle well. Stoppage of play as the net's off.
Classic Arctic Edge nets.
Bachum did a good job of reading that, but Hasselhorst did a better one of cutting off that angle.
Yeah, he was really able to explode off of his post and cut down that angle. And that puck all started with a good entry by Davidson, bringing it all the way around, creating the cycle, and then having his two teammates there to help him out, get the puck out front.
Sooners look to capitalize on this offensive zone faceoff as Alexandrov got booted from the faceoff dot. Joe McCormick, the only goal scorer for McKendree, steps in. Kagan has it, looking for a tip. Flung into the corner, Bachum back to Stuckey, and it exits.
Yeah, that puck just not able to really get through all the bodies in front. McKendree starting to block a lot more shots in this second frame.
Brady Nance takes a spill. Davenport gets stood up into by Stuckey. And Spear flings it over to Skylar Bachum. Bachum working it low to Davison. Davison looking for centering feed to Carson Spear, can't find it. Brendan Wolf dumps it down low, taken away by Keel. Slap shot from Mike Amala.
Yeah,
Fought off.
Another puck that just has popped out off these side walls.
Yeah, we're going to get a McKendree power play here in a moment. It's as clear and obvious hook as you can get. Extra attacker out there for the Bearcats before it's eventually touched. So a McKendree power play will put the Sooners in the penalty box.
And that is a Logan Motts, which isn't going to be good.
He's one of their best penalty killers.
Yep.
Sooners are the most penalized team in the WCHL. They lead the division in penalty minutes, so that's something they got to clean up. But it hadn't been a problem because their penalty kill had been so efficient. But now, it only takes so many more times before eventually it starts falling apart, and they have to be careful of that.
Yeah, the couple games that we have been to, I didn't think that the Sooners were too penalized. But obviously going on the road, you get a couple of non-home refs, I would say.
A couple of those came. There was a scrum at the end of the Oklahoma State game to open up the series that led to a suspension as well as a couple of ejections. So that's where the bulk of it comes from, but still these minor penalties are eating them up as McKendree looks to get set up on this power play.
And really, this is the first time we've seen McKendree get set up on the power play.
They are owning the zone right now. Kent plays it off to Begic. Begic shot. Fought off by Forden. Rebound loose out in front. Forden couldn't scoop it up. Eventually it is cleared for the moment, but held in at the blue line. Begic again. Traffic in front of the net for McKendree. Lonsdale chopping at it. Kent takes it away for the Bearcats. Pinned into the boards by Glass for a moment. Eventually worked free. Lonsdale fired it into Carson Glass, and a little laboring on that, but he gets up. Have a good cross-ice pass to Lonsdale. Still kept in by Begic before it's eventually cleared from Oklahoma, and they needed that badly.
Yeah, a lot of 4 tired bodies on there, and this line change was very much needed. Now Stuckey getting his first look at some PK time right now since Logan Motts is in the penalty box.
Another offensive zone faceoff for the Bearcats. Tisch played that in onto Forden.
Yeah, the Bearcats really looking for the cross-ice pass. The back door usually clogged up by the Sooners very well, and obviously the Bearcats really didn't get a great opportunity on it, and Kagan will come on for Stuckey.
Kagan, who was just out there, he's flushed red like a lobster. In need of a break, probably, but he's not going to get it with Motts in the box. Reichel Davis has it shot. Looking for a rebound. It was bouncing. Never landed properly for the Bearcats. Fired on net. Puck work down low. Alexandrov centering feed. Good play there by Will Blake. Puck in the corner. Just a couple seconds left on this Sooner penalty kill. As they do clear it, or excuse me, end it, rather. Keel working it to McCormick. McCormick getting pestered. Held in at the line, though, before it's eventually taken away by Nate Payne. Nate Payne trying to work the O-zone. Wrist one, looking for a rebound. Amala couldn't get there in time.
Nate Payne also at the end of the shift here. I don't know how much speed he actually has left. Not a ton to begin with. But
Spear at the half wall from a tough angle. Got it up high. And a good save by Hasselhorst. Now Spear again. Good flick on his stick, put it on his backhand, but it's turned over. Mala plays it to Motts at the point. Work down low, Charlie Blake. And a rush here for McKendree. Good pestering done by Ivan Gutierrez. Before it's eventually taken away. Potential 2-on-1 loading. Charlie Blake didn't have the wheels for it. Looking for a drop pass now. Centering feed for Motts! One-timer, no luck on that. Hasselhorst had the angle all the way. Puck flipped out high. Motts forces a collision between two Bearcats in the neutral zone. Puck kept in. Monticelli played it back. Charlie Blake has to go backwards to go forwards. before it's eventually taken away by McKendree.
Yeah, Hasselhorst, another great lockdown on that angle for that save.
Salvatore rims it around the boards.
Ooh,
Taken away by Oklahoma. Good stretch
Logan
pass. Alex
Motz
Kagan.
can't get off the ice. Logan Motz looks to have injured his right leg, I want to say.
Hope
He's
okay.
down there with Anita right now.
Hope he's okay. Kagan in there on that last rush. Good work there by Monticelli. Shot fought off, blocker saved by Hasselhorst.
Some tired bodies out there for the Sooners. Let's see if McKendree can capitalize.
They're working it down low. Shot off the side of the netting. Brady Nance takes a hit from Kagan. Glass plays it off his backhand to Kagan, who eventually works it to Gutierrez. Gutierrez being forechecked. And the puck comes free out in front of the net. Good stick by Glass to fight off Lonsdale's attempt. It was bouncing. He didn't really have much of a chance on it, but had that settled, it could have been a problem. Martin trying to clear it. Eventually, it's poked free and out of the zone. Sooners got off to a hot start in the period on that power play, but now clearly look fatigued, and it's just getting started as there are 2 more games back-to-back after this one. Martin steps into his man. Sooners trying to keep it in, can't. Garen Narvaez works it off the skates. Narvaez rips a shot. Hasselhorst working at it. Took a slap from Davison crashing the net, but good job controlling that one. So, playing these 3-game back-to-back series have to be really challenging on your body in terms of physical fatigue, mental, all these attributes.
A lot of these guys coming from junior hockey are used to the 3-game weekends. So I would say it's hit or miss. Obviously, a couple of guys coming straight out of high school or AAA don't do those 3-game weekends, but when I came in from junior hockey, I was actually surprised that we don't do 3-game weekends. That was new to me.
Well, you got to factor in some football games and extracurricular activities occurring for these young men enjoying their college experience that also might impact it compared to juniors where your main focus is on hockey.
Yes, and obviously schoolwork, travel days are very different. You're not leaving on a Thursday during the day.
Davison frustrated that Wolf wasn't there to hold the point. Puck's going to be called for an icing.
Let's see if they bring Davidson back on.
I believe he was off before that was cleared down.
I think so too. So they will not be bringing back on Davidson there. With Motz out, I think Kagan's going to be playing a lot of these second and third periods coming up. So he's going to get a good amount of ice time coming up now.
Also looking to see the appearance of Ivan Randalls, who is dressed tonight. Former Jesuit Ranger, my alma mater as well. So I'm wishing him the best if he does get on the ice tonight. Would love to see him succeed.
I have a feeling they're going to have to start rotating in some more defensemen, and obviously the forwards have already had their rotations with Kay Glass and Joy.
Kagan fighting for it. A high flip stays in play. It's going to be another icing against Oklahoma. McKendree just fine with that.
Ref almost tried keeping the McKendree guys on the ice instead of the OU guys.
Right idea, wrong bench.
It's the second period. Everybody gets turned around.
Blake to take this face-off for Oklahoma and wins it. Puck poked free.
Really the first chance that I've seen Forden give up a rebound on.
Yeah, he conceded that. Amala took a hack of a shot which injured Tish for McKendree.
Yeah, Tish is feeling that one a little bit, a little labored.
Puck out in front of Hasselhorst. Backhanded on net by Charlie Blake, I believe.
Charlie Blake was digging around. Oop, Motts is getting the legs moving again. And he might be done for the day.
Yeah.
He just did a spin, and he's not feeling it. He's going right back down to Anita.
So we'll look to see. Sooners do have options on the bench to work in for that spot. But
Nate Payne just took a high stick right there, too.
puck dumped in. Centering feed. Good stick lift by Brendan Wolf. Good heads-up play. Puck eventually, though, turned over and taken back by Salvatore. Salvatore kept it into Voida. Voida dumped it down low. Puck in behind Forden. He's looking around. Voida comes in. Payne meets him, clears it. And away goes Charlie Blake. He's got Griffin Joy on the wing. Will Blake couldn't get it up on end. Voida just dumps it in, gets off. Forden plays it. Gutierrez has space to work with here. Doesn't have to force anything, and doesn't.
Take the space.
He does. Gets hit awkwardly from a weird angle on that. It wasn't really much of a trip, but it also was
not a hip check. I think he caught a bit of his knee.
So Sooners, good keep in by Tristan Glass. That looked like that was going nowhere. Smart drop pass from Martin, but couldn't connect with Monticelli.
Just a lot of, like, no established. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a lot of back and forth, turnovers. No real established offense for either side in this last 5 minutes or so.
Davenport plays it up for Brady Nance. Nance to Davenport. Good setup on a Forden, pushed wide. Lonsdale has it. Slap shot from Keel, blocked by his own man Lonsdale. Puck loose in front of Forden. Eventually gets a mid on it. Davenport is going to take an unfriendly grab from Tristan Glass, who has a death grip on his neck for a moment.
And he's making sure that he's not getting anywhere close to Forden. Yeah, like I was saying, just not a lot of established work going on, like down low, cycling. It's like you get one shot, a rebound, or covered. A lot of stop and go.
Sooners will look to get something going themselves. But McKendree's going to have an answer here on this offensive zone pressure that they are getting. Gutierrez has a play on it, able to bank it off the boards. It's going to be icing as Keel beats Davison to the goal line.
Yeah, again, it's like sloppy.
Yeah.
You know? Maybe it's a Thursday.
It is a Thursday.
Maybe had class today.
Let's give the guys a little bit of grace here. McKendree had to come in from Illinois.
Yeah, good 10 to 12 hour bus ride for them.
I would expect the next few games to look a lot different from how this one has so far. McKendree dumps it all the way down. As Begic working on Baucom. Baucom ends up coming away with it, flicks it off the glass. That left the zone. That was a correct call on the offsides there. McDonald kept his skates on the blue line, but the puck he had to reach back for, almost Odell that.
Yeah,
but
Odell Beckham Jr. He had 3 fingers on the
Yeah.
3 fingers on the puck.
No points for that, unfortunately, for McKendree.
Could use 7 right now.
Yep. Face-off taken away by Mike Amala. Blake holds the line. Amala from a tight angle. Might have caught a piece of the crossbar on that. Flung out of play. But a good chance there for
Mike Amala
the rookie.
Using the wheels.
Nearly identical to how Joe McCormick scored the opening goal for McKendree. Same spot, same pace, same angle.
Yeah, he was looking to do the exact same thing. Just missed it by a couple inches.
Alexander to take this face-off where McKendree can't. Amala flutters one in on Hasselhorst.
Yeah, I believe that one caught a stick, but a good face-off win. Haven't like back and forth face-offs too. Everything's been back and forth this game, just not a lot of, chances, in my opinion.
Stoppages.
Yeah, a lot of stoppages, a lot of whistles.
The game was flowing as smoothly as I have seen games flow in Arctic Edge the first 10 minutes of that first period, and since then it's been
stop and go.
Yeah. Bumper-to-bumper traffic as Charlie Blake pushes that one wide. Centering feed off the skates of Blake. It's a bouncing puck. Voida looking to play to Alexander. Alexander surveys, plays it over to Voida. Stretch pass could not find Brady Nance for a moment. Eventually taken away by McKendree in the neutral zone. Away goes Charlie Blake the other way. Fires one on net, fought off by Hasselhorst. Cormick plays it up to Nance. Nance getting pressured by Brendan Wolf and Spear. Big boys out there for Oklahoma. Accompanied by Tristan Davison.
I believe it wasn't Spear that went off for a line change. I didn't see who it was. Might have been Mike Amala that went off for a line change for Tristan Davidson.
See what adjustments Coach Arvanitis has as we are winding down in this middle frame. Knotted up at 1 apiece. McCormick pressured, taken away by Alexander. Alexander working on Wolf. Has the angle. Centers it. Shot. Might have caught a piece of Forden and out.
I believe Forden got that one with his arm.
His body language made it seem like he felt like he was beat on that. Saw him pause and freeze up for a moment there, not knowing where it went.
Yeah, it was almost like it was going over his shoulder. He caught it with his elbow from my angle.
Yeah.
But again, another stoppage. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like,
This is ACHA, baby.
I feel like this period's been 40 minutes.
Salvatore can't win the faceoff. Monticelli comes away with it for the Sooners. And their patented anthracites. Monticelli flips it. Good keep by Narvaez. Kagan with a howitzer. And traffic in front of the net. Caught a piece of something and went over. Monticelli holds the line, has space. Monticelli up on angle, scores! Nate Monticelli all by himself. And the Sooners take a 2-1 lead.
Nate Monticelli able to create that turnover on the blue line and get his feet moving towards the net, gets into the top of the circles and rips one past on the blocker side.
His third goal of the season. It took him a while just to get one all the way to the Bedlam series last year, and he's off to a hot start.
Yeah, a lot of changes that he has done. New workout routine, maybe getting the feet moving a little bit quicker too.
Sooners, they can hold on to this 2-1 lead, have to be feeling a lot more confident going into that final frame. Up a goal. Captain obvious, but
Pete Arvanitis always talks about the first 5 minutes of period and in the last 5 minutes of period. So the Sooners need to lock down and win these last 2 minutes of this period.
what does he say about the middle 10?
Nah, nothing happens in the middle 10. That's the boring part of the game. That's when your superstars come out and play.
There you go.
And all the bad penalties are taken.
Yeah. I mean, that has been the trend in this game so far. Nate Payne against Davenport. Davenport wins it cleanly. Lonsdale, good block there from Gutierrez. Never found the net at all. Good clearance there. It was tipped multiple times. No icing, and it also does not carry the pace to warrant one.
Well, and looking at it this way, the first 5 minutes of the first period, strong start by the Sooners going up 7-0 in shots. Last 5 minutes, McKendree goes down and scores on the power play. First 5 minutes of the second period, OU scores, and now they have scored in the last 5 minutes of this period, or in the second period as well.
Yeah, and Hasselhorst looked so strong in this game. Obviously, that first goal that was tipped in by Glass, he didn't really have a chance on that. That second one from Monticelli, there wasn't traffic in front of the net. It was pretty obvious Monticelli and his intentions as Kagan stands over a McKendree player. That might ruffle some feathers.
He's the type of guy to do that. He loves stirring up the pot a little bit. 3-game weekend, he's going to have a fun weekend if he's getting them pissed off at him already.
Yeah. This is a very tame McKendree team, all things considered, from what we've seen from especially Colorado last couple of weekends ago.
Yeah, Colorado always a big rivalry for us in the OU. Colorado State, seen them 4 times a year, every single year. Same with Missouri State.
Yeah, Missouri State games seem to get chippy. Arizona a little bit as well, as Begich coming in with speed, skates and crashes into Forden. Kind of winced. You could see it through his mask. He did not like that, but Begich kind of just blew a tire there. It wasn't nefarious or intentional.
Yeah, and he just went and apologized. He's all right.
Yeah. But that's the best answer McKendree's had since that Nate Monticelli goal.
Yeah, but the Sooners really need to lock down this last 36 seconds. We're getting Kagan back on the ice for Pete Arvanitis with, I believe, Gutierrez.
Good defensive play by the forward, Carson Spear, to take that away from the Bearcats, excuse me. Voida working to Kent. Drops it to Begich. Begich flings it forward. Charging in, Cade Rasansky. Never had an angle on it. Kagan's going to power that one out of the zone for Oklahoma. 3 seconds left, and that will do it as Mike Kamala giving it to Voida a little bit. They're actually going to have a bit of a conversation, at least for a moment. That was getting chippy towards the end of that. But nonetheless, Sooners come out and score 2 in the middle frame, taking that lead heading into the third, looking a little lot better than they did towards the end of that first frame. Willie, your thoughts?
Obviously a much better second period, but McKendree still able to keep it close, keeping the game, within the shot range. They're obviously leading in shots right now, 23-22. And the Sooners losing Motts on the DN. That's going to be a huge loss for the rest of this game, and he's helmets off and getting helped off the ice right now. So,
yeah. Before we go, we would like to welcome the OU Hockey newest corporate sponsor, Appliance for Less. Family-owned and veteran-owned for all your appliance needs. Go by 2 of their 5 locations, Northwest OKC and Norman, 8105 Northwest Expressway Street, OKC 73162, and 1302 North Interstate Drive, Norman, Oklahoma 73072, for free delivery and 10% off store-wide this weekend only for all hockey fans. We'll be right back with the start of your third period. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, Sooner hockey fans, to your second period intermission report. I'm Christian Markey. Alongside me, joined by the injured but well Josh Bells. How do you think this game has gone so far in your eyes? What are your thoughts on the first two periods?
Yeah, I mean, I think overall, definitely a good second period there. I think maybe at the start, like after they got their first goal, we kind of backed off a little bit, but I've been really liking the physicality, and I think we've been exploiting some of their slower players, and we've been having really good second efforts on the forecheck.
Yeah, I want to talk about somebody. Nate Monticelli took a long time to get going, it felt like, last season. Took him till the Bedlam game last year. He's on a 3-game goal heater right now, going into this winning streak for you guys. What does that mean to see a guy like that who kind of maybe was having a hard time finding his way his rookie year and has now kind of stepped up his sophomore year?
Oh, it's infectious. You root for everyone's success, and you see, Monticelli just, he works harder than anybody in practice and every game, and to see him get rewarded, it's just, it just gives the boys life. It's awesome.
Yeah, and with all these injuries and, departures from other players of the team, you've really kind of seen the rookies in the locker room step up. And, obviously we won't know everything that happens in the locker room, but kind of how's that chemistry look like from these young guys bonding with the older group?
Oh, it's been, I'd say, seamless. The new guys, they don't act like new guys. It's just everyone's part of the team, and it's been a great start to the year. So I'm looking forward to keep building on those relationships.
What do you think's been the main focal point that's driven this 6-game win streak for you guys so far? I believe it's one of the longer win streaks in program history right now.
Yeah, I'd just say just relentlessness, and just sticking to our concepts and just always be on the attack.
If you were to highlight some key points for the Sooners to finish out with this lead in the end of the third period to close the game, what would you say are the main things to focus on?
Yeah, I'd say smart positioning on the forecheck. I'd look to see probably a neutral zone trap coming up from us, and just sticking to that. Just nice disciplined hockey. They're probably going to try and pull us into some stuff, but just staying out of the stuff in between the whistles and focusing on the real hockey.
Appreciate you doing this intermission report, Mr. Josh Bells. Hoping to see you on the ice and not up in here anytime soon.
Yes, sir.
Get healthy. Sooner fans will be right back with the start of third. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, Sooner hockey fans. Thank you for joining us. I would like to make a brief apology. Grayson Skirpin is the goalie in net and has been in net this entire game for the McKendree Bearcats. On the ACHA website and rostered, we have 2 number 1 goalies. Hasselhorst was the other one written there. So that's where the misinformation was maybe spread. Thank the ACHA website for that minor infraction. Sooners just now taking the ice right on time. Really good conversation with Josh Bells, if you didn't catch it, during that intermission report, talking about what's keeping this Sooner team going. Just relentlessness, he said, is what has been preached in that locker room. And that's something that will fuel win streaks.
Yeah, obviously relentlessness is needed throughout a hockey season. You're going to deal with some adversity throughout the entire year. And one big adversity that they're going to deal with is the loss of Logan Motts. For the rest of this game, I do not see him on the bench, so he might be done for the day. I hope, wish him a speedy recovery.
Likewise, Davenport to face off against Tristan Glass. Sooners leading 2-1 heading in to this third period. McKendree takes the opening face-off into the offensive zone. Reichel Davis trying to center it. Davenport's shot, bounce wide, rebound, just escaped Lonsdale.
I think that hit the post.
That was a really weird sequence of events as Lonsdale fires one over the net. But an early response from McKendree to start. Davis working the face-off dot. Played back. Alexander's shot fought off by Forden. Puck flung all the way down. Caden Martin working it. Good block there by Jack Sumner. Davenport. Stretch pass was taken out of play.
Yeah, well, McKendree coming out, knowing that they're down by 1. They're trying to establish themselves in this third period quickly and having a fantastic opportunity that I believe, so the first shot got blocked by shin pads, and then it did not look like Forden got that puck. I think it hit the left post of Forden, so he's probably thanking his post like Marc-Andre Fleury does.
Brendan Wolf collects in behind Ford, and Amala pushes it forward to Spear, loses it in the neutral zone. That's something that Bells alluded to potentially happening in this final frame, was a neutral zone trap, as he called it. Turnover, though. Begic nearly had the game-tying goal, and another save on Forden as his mask comes off there. Couple shots in short sequence for McKendree. Rosanski, the last one on that.
Yeah, again, they're coming in, firing. McKendree really looking to get this game back to a tie. And I don't think any of those shots counted on the shot clock, so I think our shot clock is off.
They got it back up there. It was 24-18. Now it's, well, yeah, it still might be a little skewed. I think it's closer to 22-24 Sooner favor. Charlie Blake and Kent on the face-off draw. Sooners still having to work it out of the zone. Shot tipped. Rebound from Kent.
Good
Another
block
sequence
shot
of
by
events.
Wolf.
Absolutely. McKendree still looking to set up. Begic, excuse me. Fired one in on Forden and saved.
Was that 6 shots to start this?
So.
And we're less than a minute and a half in. A strong start by McKendree and stronger start by Forden right now.
Sooners are relying on that last line of defense, which is the goalie, Brendan Forden. Stopped 21-22 so far, at least according to the scoreboard. It's probably more 23-24 in my eyes. Voida trying to work the neutral zone, eventually does get it up to Rosanski. Rosanski playing it down low. Kagan intercepts. Gutierrez takes it away for Oklahoma. Cleared out by Davison. Narvaez fires it, blocked by Voida. Begic. Good move there. Narvaez getting his stick up in a dangerous area for a moment. Eventually brings it back down.
You definitely do not want to be taking a penalty this early in the period.
Skylar Bockham. Shot. And Skirpin just got a piece of it.
You had to look the name back up, didn't
Yep,
you?
I did. I did. Nonetheless, McKendree exits.
I bet that's the worst when you're used to saying a goalie's name the entire period, and then thank you, ACHA website.
Yeah.
That's all we got to say.
Yeah, there isn't another number one on the bench for McKendree in terms of the goalie department. You see.
Yeah, we got a 30 and a 31.
Yep, that would be Dylan DeLayer. And another person that is not on the ACHA website, so.
Oh. What a great start from the ACHA website. And McKendree this period.
Yeah, great start for McKendree, and they're looking to keep that going as they maintain puck possession on a bad turnover from Oklahoma. Forden having to fight off a body in front of the net. Sooners come away with it. Set up by Uchaz. Joy dumps it in. McDonald on his backhand. Brady Nance trying to keep it in. Joy. Eventually it's cleared and taken away into the neutral zone for the Bearcats. Salvatore working against Cole Stuckey. Puck comes out. Bearcats have to check up Jack Sumner. It's tipped in softly by Uchaz.
The Bearcats also really getting in on this forecheck, obviously going for a line change right now, but creating turnovers all over the place in the O-zone and the neutral zone.
Forden misplayed that dangerous chance there for McKendree. Can't capitalize on it. Puck stays in play, barely, by Joe McCormick. Kept in. Now Alexander's shot, blocker saved by Forden. Rebound fought wide. Alexander stuck with it. Alexander again being pressured by Stuckey, but able to retain possession.
Yeah.
Shots blocked by Monticelli. Good job there. Sooners needed that. Get off for the change and the clearance.
Yeah, Alexander not really able to elevate that puck over the shoulder of Brendan Forden.
Now Narvaez shot. Had traffic in front, but it was caught up in a stick of a McKendree defender. Puck flipped up and out of play. That faceoff's going to be held outside the offensive zone for the Sooners. Good heads up feed from Monticelli on that, looking for his second point of the night.
Yeah, Monticelli having a strong start. Well, second half of this game, I should say. And really getting in on the forecheck and throwing a little body around as well.
Cade Martin coming off for a change. Charlie Blake stepping on in place of him. Spear and Davenport on the face-off. Davenport wins that cleanly. Wolf has to dump it in. Two Sooners were on the ground.
Mikey Amala got tripped up on the face-off.
Tisch, who's back on the ice for McKendree, springs it forward. Davenport dumps it in. Forden trying to play it to a Sooner. Puck held up on the wall. Charlie Blake loses it. Davenport collects it. Surveys, plays back to Tisch. Tisch is shot. Puck is loose in front of the net. Where is it? Forden couldn't get a mid on it. Eventually it's poked into the end boards. And Spear on his backhand shovels it forward. Too slow for an icing. Charlie Blake. Oh my goodness, Charlie Blake just upended
Oh, I do not know about that call, though.
Lonsdale. And what is the call?
They called him for a boarding.
That's...
I don't know. That I didn't see anything that would warrant a boarding call there. They were right next to each other, and he threw the hit.
So the Sooners are going to go on a penalty kill here, and yeah, I just... interference maybe could have been the call for that, but
he
even
touched
then,
the puck.
He did touch the puck, and he was playing the puck. Yeah,
And that was Lonsdale, correct?
Lonsdale, yeah.
Yeah, he got right up after it. Didn't look like he was any worse for wear.
So a fourth McKendree power play there, 1 for 3 on this game. Face-off delay here, maybe a false start perhaps. Carson Glass to work this face-off against Kasansky. Begich back to Lonsdale, who drew the penalty for the Bearcats. Begich working down low to Alex Kent. Kent back to Begich. Begich, shot on a Forden. Did a good job tracking that one.
No real traffic there for Begich to shoot into. I would have liked him to move it across ice and then work it back up. Just no McKendree players in front of Forden. Forden's going to have that all day.
Rosansky on the face-off against Tristan Glass this time. The Glass brothers alternating face-offs on this penalty kill. And Alexandra is going to step in, Alexandrov, excuse me, for the Bearcats. Alexandrov holds the point. Work down low, Begich. A couple of nice moves. Brought back, shot blocked by Carson Glass and cleared. Huge clearance for Oklahoma. Touch up necessary from the Bearcats. And Kagan's going to fire it all the way down. Pawed down by Tish.
That hurts the hand.
Yeah. Lonsdale sent a Sooner flying. Now, Rosansky's shot got a piece of forward and went high over the net. Lonsdale again, down to one knee, back up with it. Eventually turns it over to Carson Spear, who's going to clear it for Oklahoma. Over halfway done with this penalty kill. Just a couple shots so far.
Yeah, and a little switch up for Pete, having Will Blake with Carson Spear.
Yeah, and a good clearance there, and away is Spear if he wants it, but
he's just going to roll away from him.
Skirpin's just going to, Skirpin's just going to elect to play that. Bearcats looking to get set back up. Ben Anderson leading the rush for McKendree. They're going to say no offsides on that. Clean entry from McKendree. Puck worked to Alexandrov. Alexandrov elects, shoots. Blocker save by Forden. Good read by the second-year Sooner.
That was a very good move, getting him to go down to one knee. Alexandrov getting that shot away. But again, no traffic for these Bearcats. Got to get traffic in front of the net. Forden's going to have these saves that are coming straight at him from the top of the circles all day.
At least to my eyes, they're not the biggest team that the Sooners have faced this year so far.
Yeah, I would say both teams are about the same size. No real outliers. I mean, you got an Adam Goldstein who is 6'5", 6'6".
No longer on the team.
Yeah.
Joe McCormick, the only goal scorer for the Bearcats on the power play as that power play time is winding down. Shot from a tight angle, fought up by Forden. Rebound is loose. Looking to spring forward Bockham is Kagan. Bockham is going to beat the icing, but Keel's the first man to the puck. Fighting hard with Anderson. Anderson plays it to Alexandrov. Sooners do kill that penalty, so they go 1 for 4 on the night. Not too shabby with the way things have gone. Stuckey fires that in onto Keel. Get a stoppage and play here.
A hand pass on that one. Never liked that new rule. Getting the hand pass in the D zone. I always thought that was...
Explain that to the fans back home.
So a hand pass is if a player knocks down, so let's say Alex Kagan grabs the puck and puts it on the ice, and then it gets hit away from him, or he gets hit and Bockham picks up the puck, that's a hand pass. But there never used to be hand passes in the D zone. You were able to glove it or swat it away.
Cole Stuckey, that was a blueprint hand pass, as Willie was describing there.
Yeah, except for he was in the O zone. So
yeah,
you've never been allowed to hand pass in the O zone or the neutral zone, but the D zone, that's a new rule as of 2 years ago, I believe. Because I know it was happening when I was playing, and I hated that rule.
Garen Narvaez wins the faceoff for Oklahoma. Puck fired down onto Skirpin. Turned over, though. Voida turns it over. Narvaez collects for Oklahoma. So they look to get set up for the first time this period. They can't. Good pressure from McKendree. Puck taken, dumped in. Tristan Davison to chase after it. Bockham pawed at it, couldn't get it. Collision there. Salvatore working the angle, centering feed. Evaded, the stick of Aram moves, evaded the stick of Trey.
There you go.
We're going to use first names.
There's a couple difficult names.
Bearcats still working the neutral zone. Salvatore drops it back. Trey dumps it down.
What happened to the Smiths of the world?
Right. Shot from a distance. Never made it to the net.
Imagine having to try and pronounce Bjorkstrand.
For the first person that had to say his name on a broadcast.
Yeah.
Or,
You had to go ask him 4 times to repronounce it for you.
yeah. Bajork. Carson Spear enters for Oklahoma. Fought off well by Ben Anderson. Anderson went down now. Centering feed for Charlie Blake. Set up by Spear. Fought off by Skirpin. Gutierrez holds the line. Davenport clearing it himself. They're going to say offsides. Not too sure about that.
He checked back up. He checked back up. Am I going crazy?
Yeah, I didn't see it. I didn't see the offsides infraction there, but it did appear he exited, touched up, and then re-entered. The puck never moved. It was kind of a weird call perhaps for the officials because the bodies were moving forward, but the puck stayed stationary in the offensive zone for Oklahoma. Spear touched up, tried to re-enter, but was called for an offsides.
Well, Spear had a great individual effort as well. And what do we have on the ice down low?
It's a stick.
Yep, it's a stick. Yeah, broken stick. Officially broken after the referee breaks it.
Just had to make sure.
You had to double check that it was broke.
And this also allows time for Coach Arvanites to get an explanation. That kind of worked out
Yeah.
for him. Doesn't have to call over an official, make a scene of things.
Let's see if he just made up with it by kicking their Davenport out, and it doesn't look like it.
Davenport enters, chases, Forden plays it. Kagan does a good job of stopping that from getting past him. Otherwise, that would have been a turnover.
I'm really impressed with Davenport's play for McKendree, though. He's really, I think he's been one of their best players tonight. He's been all over the ice.
Yeah, aside from Joe McCormick, he's definitely been everywhere at all times, which is what you want to see. Caden Martin, on the other hand, having a hard time getting to that puck. Monticelli working the corner. This is a physical line for the Sooners.
Yeah, Caden Martin just walked in and steamrolled over Monticelli and the Bearcats defenseman.
Stretch pass to Lonsdale. Ends up in the skates of Reichel Davis. Davis getting pestered by Tristan Glass. Puck bounces, stayed in. You could see it from our angle. Davis again played it down low to Davenport. Davenport surveying options. Played it behind net. Monticelli gets a stick lifted by Davenport, whose helmet comes off. Good clean physical play there.
Yeah, I think Monticelli's stick, when he got tripped up in the corner after Davenport hit him, came up and knocked his helmet off. Davenport got a lot of cage hang. A little extra motion on the cage. I know when I came from junior hockey that I did not enjoy the cage, so I had a lot of hang on mine too.
Were you more of a fishbowl guy?
No, I loved the half shield.
Yeah.
When I was playing with the half shield. And a lot of the guys that have come from juniors that I've been talking to about when they wore the half shield, they hated going back to the cage. I wonder how Gavin McKenna likes being in the fishbowl.
Yeah, and we'll never get a Jamie Benn no visor at all ever again in hockey.
Yeah, which is ridiculous. Not happy about that.
Carson Glass gets ran into by Voida. He is okay and has the puck now, played it down low, turned it right over. And sprung forward is Begic. Working the faceoff dot. Good job by Ivan Gutierrez getting there first. And Gutierrez has space to work with. 3 Bearcats are back to defend, however. Gutierrez in, good pass over to Glass. Glass's shot! Maybe caught a piece of Skirpin and went wide.
Gutierrez got a little knee-on-knee action there, too. That was a little dangerous.
Good save by Forden on a Begic bid. He's probably their shot leader, I would say, so far on this Bearcat team in this game.
Another guy that's been playing well for the Bearcats. There's a couple guys on these Bearcats that are really getting the puck in deep, establishing a forecheck, and creating opportunities for their team to come and win this game. And Forden's just been shutting them down.
Yeah, he has, and he's now 27 to 28 according to the scoreboard here in Arctic Edge. Alexandrov to take this face off against Garen Narvaez. A little bit of discussion going on between Coach Arvanitis.
I believe that was Huberty asking some questions there.
Oh, okay.
Asking about the defensive play, seeing if there was an offside or something.
Face-off tied up and won by McKendree. McCormick plays it back to Alexander, looking for a tip. Forden saw it through all that traffic and blockered it away.
Yeah, the first real chance I've seen McKendree shoot from the point and have people in front.
And have it land onto Forden as well.
Correct.
It's been an anomaly in this game.
A lot of block shots today.
Yeah. Alexandrov caught offsides. McCormick drug that puck outside the zone for just a brief moment. And we'll get a neutral zone face-off going here. McCormick and Narvaez face off with each other. Won by McKendree. Eventually it's sprung forward, though. Backham has space to work with. Centering feed just a bit premature. Missed Tristan Davison. Ivan Gutierrez trying to keep it in for Oklahoma. Does. And the Sooners have numbers in the zone. Gutierrez. Shot sailed over the net. Rebound off the glass. Nearly floated into Skirpin's back and in. He saved one like that earlier as that one is flung out of the zone. Davison perhaps wanting to pass on that chance from Gutierrez.
He definitely did, and I think if Gutierrez moved it over to Davidson, he had a chance at moving it backdoor to, I believe, Narvaez was backdoor.
Excuse me, it was Narvaez trying to move that to Davison, or wishfully moving that to Davison, and then Backham was the backdoor option.
Yeah.
But a good keep from that line, continuing ozone pressure for the Sooners as they try to swing things. Another goal here would make things feel oh so much more comfortable in this final frame to start this series.
Yeah, and they've definitely been my best line throughout the first couple weeks of the season here. Obviously having a great little series against OSU, putting up a couple points.
And without them in that series, those goals, the blowout from OSU that happened in game one would have been a lot worse.
Oh, yes.
Kagan trying to clear it, does. Kendry has to touch up. They were looking to get going, and Kagan just got enough juice on that to have it leave the zone. Bit of a miscue there. Stuckey wasn't ready for it. Keel in the neutral zone has it. Trey for McKendree dumps it in. Forden to play it. Misses Forden. Wolf. McKendree holds the line. Missed check there by Charlie Blake on McDonald. Salvatore pinned up against the boards. Couple of Sooners, couple of Bearcats in there. Eventually Oklahoma comes away with it. Micah Mala.
And if I'm the Sooners right now, I'm trying to get this through the neutral zone and in the O zone. And try and get some forechecking going. Maybe play a little bit of that trap that Bells was talking about.
Another blocker save from Forden. Spear decided to give a hug to Tisch on the blue line. Didn't play the puck. Officials let that go.
Yeah, and if I'm the Sooners also, you want to be killing time. You can't be making bad decisions and bad turnovers in this final bit.
Monticelli, the most recent goal scorer, trying to split the D on that. No such luck this time. Caden Martin aggressively trying to battle for this puck right in front of the Bearcat bench. Eventually it's poked free by Tisch and dumped in. A flying Tristan Glass.
Almost.
Yeah. Nearly got another penalty called against Oklahoma.
Yeah, WWE style.
Davenport is the Bearcat down on the ice in that puck battle. Sooners have been winning these in this third period. Let's see what happens on this one. They do eventually get it out. Glass doing a lot of dirty work, dirty physical work.
A man of the corners. loves the boards.
Yeah. Use them to your advantage. He gets taken down. Pass intercepted by Gutierrez. He's got to hold up with it for just a moment. Sooners nearly had too many men there for a second.
And Tristan Glass was the last man back.
Lonsdale tried to enter. He was offsides, and then a Sooner went flying into Reichel Davis on that play. He went down, is in a little bit of pain. Just under 5 minutes to go in this last period of this opening night. Sooners lead 2-1. Taking this opening game is oh so important for both of these teams to establish what happens over the next two.
And the fourth line for the Sooners coming out here. One last hard-working shift possibly for them.
Alexander dumps it in.
Is Nate Payne injured? I haven't seen him on the ice.
I haven't either. Or excuse me, Ben Anderson now with it. Kagan clears it. Chased after by Jack Sumner. Sumner electing to play it forward. It is Sansky. Good stretch pass to Sumner.
And Forden having to deal with that one coming out of the corner with some heat.
Will Blake doing a good job of fighting off a couple of Bearcats who were pestering on the forecheck.
Yep.
Will Blake has
Move
space
that
to
to Griffin
pass it
Joy.
to Joy. Yeah, that window was
Griffin
open.
Joy had it. I know Grandma Joy's not going to be happy about that.
Now Joe McCormick, shades of his first goal last time, just working that O-zone, entering all by himself. Eventually it's poked free. McDonald couldn't hold the line. And Brady Nance will do the work for McKendree. Not before it's pawed down by Tristan Davison. Bockham. It's a 5-on-1.
You know, usually you can get that puck over Tristan Davidson.
Nance.
He will not like me saying that.
No. No. I'm going to let you do the talking.
That's okay.
McDonald shot blocked and into the netting for a stoppage and play. 3:18 left.
His parents will get a crack out of that one.
Offensive zone faceoff for McKendree. Alexandrov to take it. McCormick set up in an opportune spot to shoot it if it's won immediately. We'll start looking at Skirpin in the next minute or two, see what he does. Good faceoff win by Oklahoma this time. Cleared out. See if it has the distance for icing, and it will. So we'll do it again.
Yeah, a couple seconds killed, though. That's all you can ask for. But a good another face-off win. The Sooners have started to get back in their face-off groove in this third period, I would say.
Yeah, it's something that is just so imperative to their game and how they like to get set up. Kagan blasted. It's almost looking like the Sooners are on a penalty kill here with the way they've been defending, which is smart. Spear wrist a shot. Held in at the line. Blocked down by McKendree.
Oh, there's Nate Payne. He's on defense.
Adding a third defense. So they're going 3D, 2 forwards, it looks like, to close out this game. As in the soccer world, we like to call this parking the bus. That puck's flung in.
Well, I think with Mott's out, they moved Payne down to defense to try and give a little bit more of a rest for people like Kagan. Gutierrez also. Let's see the wheels, Nate Payne.
Not gonna on the chance there. McKendree having to get reset. They're starting to get a little frustrated. They've had some missed passes and turnovers that have allowed the Sooners to just maintain possession for the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, and the Sooners are kind of playing this trap a lot better than they were in the first period.
Boyda works it over to Trey. Glass plays it back to Kagan. He's got time, clears it. Will Blake has space. He also dumps it down further. It's like a relay line of just dumps, but it's working.
It's hard to score when the puck's behind their net.
Boyda gets it in cleanly for McKendree. Skirpin stays in the net for now.
Asking for the call already. He wants to get that six-man out there.
Boyda with traffic in front of the net. Rebound loose. McKendree trying to bury it. Forden, couple of saves, couple of whacks, and Tristan Glass is going to take a couple of hacks. Uchez.
Yeah, I'd say McKendree's not really used to this the physicality after the whistles, obviously a WCHL.
This is we call this another game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Call this an average Thursday night.
Yeah.
Forden gets reset. He's definitely taken some hits and pokes that he probably would rather not. We're going to go with an empty net here for McKendree. Skirpin takes a seat on the bench with this offensive zone upcoming for the Bearcats.
Oh, timeout.
Timeout taken. We will step aside for a brief second. All right, we are back from the timeout. Sooners still leading 2-1, 127 left. Empty net for McKendree. Billy Baird had to take care of some business, so I will take you the distance. Lonsdale on this faceoff. Won by McKendree. Shot blocked. Voida surveys, plays it down low. Reichel Davis working it to Davenport. Extra attacker out there once again. Davis back to Voida. Voida shot, tipped, blocked, and exits the zone for McKendree. An important clearance from Oklahoma there. Reichel Davis dumps it in. Sooners getting set up. Willie Baird is now back in the booth. Voida at the point, shot, blocker, saved by Forden. Gutierrez was sent flying after that. Voida again, shot, saved by Forden, holding the line.
Again, Forden able to eat up those rebounds.
31 of 32 saved for Brendan Forden. Most people would be surprised by that performance, but that's just how he plays.
Again, another Thursday night for Forden.
Right.
And I would say he's probably closer to 40 shots.
I would say so too.
I mean, a couple of these rebounds obviously it's hard to see from the scoring booth.
Yeah.
But
Sooners looking to ice on an empty net. Bearcats looking to tie it up with an extra attacker. Sooners win that faceoff. Kagan over to Nate Payne. Flings it the distance. Will it have enough? Icing called about 10 feet wide of the net. Nate Payne, good bid there, but it got blocked.
don't hate the dump, though. You already got your line change out. If you're Pete, you like the attempt because you're just giving your guys more rest and obviously killing some more time.
Face-off won by Glass. Kagan on his backhand trying to shovel it out. Alexandrov holds Payne in behind Forden. Eating up precious seconds now, but it's taken back to the point by Anderson. Anderson lost it, puck cleared.
Oh, that won't make it.
It won't make it, and that'll kill off about another 10 seconds. McKendree has to get going, and they have to get going now. Bearcats looking to enter, and a good hit by Tristan Glass. Are you kidding me? Ben Anderson got stood up into by Glass, who met him right at the blue line.
Yeah, that was a big hit. But if you're Pete, you do not like the play that Kagan just met.
Yeah,
Or made. It was, you get the puck with time and opportunities to pass it across ice to kill more time, but you take a shot at the empty net. You can't be doing that in these last second situations. And you give the Bearcats a chance to possibly tie up this game.
Yeah, McKendree will take this timeout. The face-off, I'm a little surprised. Face-off, so it's going to be held outside the zone. Or no, excuse me, icing. So offensive zone face-off, 5 seconds left. Extra attacker out there. Obviously, the draw is probably the most important thing, first and foremost. And then from there, you got to get something off pretty much right away.
Well, you got two guys out there in Will Blake and Tristan Glass that have probably two of the highest percentages that are on the team, I should say. But Glass is going to be on his offside, so he's going to have to try and win this on his forehand.
Stacked group on the left side of things right in front of Forden. 3 Sooners, 3 Bearcats. Davenport, their best face-off man out there for McKendree, and Tristan Glass wins it. Puck cleared, and that will do it. So the Sooners come away with an all-important opening series victory, 2-1.
Impressed with the Sooners' performance in that second and third period. They really shut it down in the third period, kept the puck flowing, not really allowing a lot of Bearcat opportunities. But
yeah, and to me, watching this team for 3 years now, it feels like, these are the games in the last couple of years where the Sooners might not necessarily win, but they found a way this time defensively and just made things work. They locked things down. Forden stayed strong, defending his castle, and an all-around just good team win, even though it wasn't necessarily their best.
It really helps to have somebody like Forden back there protecting that net because, maybe a different goalie or a couple bounces if Forden's a little smaller or something go the wrong way, and we have a completely different game.
We thank you for tuning in, Sooner hockey fans. I'm Christian Markey, alongside me, Willie Baird. Don't go anywhere this weekend as we have games Friday and Saturday night. We'll see you later.